Langston Hughes, a Harlem Renaissance poet by Mary Montgomery. Langston Hughes is known for his insightful, colorful, realistic portrayals of Black life in America through his writings. He wanted to tell the stories of his people in ways that reflected their actual culture, including both their suffering and their love for music and laughter and the language itself. James Mercer Langston Hughes was born on February 1st, 1902 in Joplin, Missouri. His lineage includes grandfather Charles Langston, a conductor in the Ohio Underground Railroad, and grandfather Lewis Sheridan Leary, active in John Brown's raid at Harper's Ferry, and Charles's brother John Mercer Langston, who became one of the most famous Black Americans in the 19th century as a lawyer, an educator, a diplomat, and a United States Congressman from Virginia in the 1890s. Hughes' parents were James Nathaniel Hughes and Carrie Mercer Langston Hughes. Hughes grew up mainly in Lawrence, Kansas, in the home of his maternal grandmother, Mary Langston Hughes, and his mother. Hughes' father, frustrated by racism and prevented from taking the bar exam in Oklahoma because of his race, abandoned his family and moved to Mexico, where he became a lawyer. From his mother, he learned poetry and was taken to literary and society meetings and plays. From his grandmother, he learned constantly about the need to struggle on behalf of the ideas of social justice and African American progress. After the death of his grandmother in 1915, Hughes went to live with his mother in Lincoln, Illinois. After graduating high school, Hughes took a train to go and visit his father in Mexico. As the train crossed the Mississippi River, he wrote one of his many famous poems. The Negro Speaks of Rivers, which is regarded as his authentic voice. This poem was later published in The Crisis, a record of the dark races, a magazine edited in New York by W. E. B. Du Bois. Linking the African American past to some of the world's greatest rivers, such as the Congo and the Mississippi, this poem celebrates the spiritual and the historic importance of people of African descent. In 1921, Hughes moved from Manhattan to attend Columbia University, although he spent most of his time in Harlem getting to know the people there, various institutions, theater, and clubs. He lived in Harlem from 1947 until 1967 on East 127th Street. To support himself, Hughes worked odd jobs, and during this time he decided he wanted to see the world. In 1923, he joined the crew of the SS Malone and for 6 months traveled to West Africa, Holland, Italy, and Paris. This trip served as vital information for his education as a black man, an American citizen, and a writer.
The first poem of mine to receive an award was The Weary Blues, granted the first prize in a literary contest conducted by Opportunity magazine in New York City. It is a poem about a working man in Harlem coming home late at night, very tired, and sitting down at a battered old piano and playing the blues. Droning a drowsy, syncopated tune, rocking back and forth to a mellow croon, I heard a Negro play. Down on Lenox Avenue the other night, by the pale, dull pallor of an old gas light, he did a lazy sway, he did a lazy sway, to the tune of those weary blues. With his ebony hands on each ivory key, he made that poor piano moan with melody. Oh, blues! Swaying to and fro on his rickety stool, he played that sad, raggy tune like a musical fool. Sweet blues, coming from a black man's soul. Oh, blues! In a deep song voice with a melancholy tone, I heard that Negro sing, that old piano moan. Ain't got nobody in all this world, ain't got nobody but myself. I was gwine to quit my frownin' and put my troubles on the shelf. Thump, thump, thump went his foot on the floor. He played a few chords, then he sang some more. I got the weary blues and I can't be satisfied. Got the weary blues and can't be satisfied. I ain't happy no more, and I wish that I had died. Far into the night he crooned that tune. The stars went out and so did the moon. The singer stopped playing and went to bed while the weary blues echoed through his head. He slept like a rock or a man that's dead. Since that time I've written many poems in the style of the blues. Real blues are Negro folk songs with a strict poetic pattern, one long line repeated and a third line to rhyme with the first two. Sometimes the second line in repetition is slightly changed, and sometimes, but seldom, the second line is omitted. The blues are almost always very sad songs about being without money, friendless or hungry, or disappointed in love, or a long ways from home. Yet there is almost always in the blues a strong sense of determination, a love of life, and a feeling of humor that make people laugh.
Langston Hughes died unexpectedly May 22, 1967. He is a significant figure in the world of literature in the 20th century.